Welcome back to the channel, and a huge thanks to Ben for sending me 2 clips in response to my request on my previous video for your experiences with the new highway code rules and hierarchy of road users, in particular giving way to pedestrians that either don't want to be given way to, or other road users that get frustrated because you're giving way to said pedestrian. So Ben sent me 2 clips which are particularly interesting because one of them, the first of which, proves the point that I was making in my previous video, which I'll link below. But first of all, if you're new to me, I'm a barrister who helps you understand law, so I'd really appreciate you hitting that like and subscribe button so I can continue delivering to you free legal guidance on this channel. So here goes with the first clip. I don't know whether this is Ben's car or someone else's car, but this vehicle is clearly approaching a junction and obviously looking all around, spots a pedestrian coming up to the crossing quite sensibly, slows down to a stop, giving quite some distance and waiting for the pedestrian. Although the pedestrian just seems to be standing around looking not quite in any direction, and eventually waves the driver on. So either not aware of the new rules in the hierarchy and that drivers should give way to pedestrians waiting to cross, or simply doesn't want to take the chance, or simply refuses for some other reason. But either way, this pedestrian did not cross the road at a point when the vehicle was stopped and clearly stopped allowing him to cross the road. This proves my point. This was taken in June by the look of the date and time. So it was well after these new rules have been implemented back in January. But nonetheless, this pedestrian was not having it. Moving on to the second clip, there's a little bit more involved in this one, which will become apparent when you watch the video. But let's roll the clip first. So quite clearly approaching a fairly busy roundabout or island or whatever you prefer to call them. And this vehicle perspective obviously joining the roundabout here, looking for a safe opportunity to joins in with the flow of traffic, which is perfectly fine. The little old vehicle is going around to the right. This driver perspective is coming off to this left-hand lane. There is a pedestrian waiting to cross. Clearly realized that this vehicle was allowing them to cross, but as you could tell, the vehicle behind the driver perspective has blasted the horn in frustration that this vehicle has stopped to allow the pedestrians to cross the road. This will, I know, throw up a huge debate in the comment section that this is an island or roundabout and it's not a junction. However, the Highway Code does not define a junction, whereas legally speaking, a junction is literally the meeting of 2 or more roads. It is a place at which 2 or more roads meet, so it could be a crossroads, it could be a T-junction, it could be any other kind of junction, including an island where roads come to a point that they meet. That is a road junction. Now, many people might take the view that these rules shouldn't apply in this situation, but I can tell you, if this case ends up in court because, let's say, I don't know, the vehicle behind slammed into this vehicle and said they shouldn't have stopped for the pedestrians, the court is almost certainly going to be on the side of the vehicle perspective, not the one behind that shunted it because it didn't realize it was stopping for pedestrians. The car's perspective will cite the Highway Code rules and say that I should stop to allow pedestrians waiting to cross the road and look like they're about to cross the road. And therefore this vehicle, quite rightly in my view, stopped and allowed them to cross the road. In my view, there was no need for the frustration from the vehicle behind, and potentially it was caused by not being entirely aware of what's going on. Maybe they're looking at their phone. I see so many people still looking at their phone these days, and that is a particular bugbear of mine. Perhaps, I don't know, but perhaps the vehicle behind was distracted in some way or another and then realized that they had to slam on the brakes because the vehicle perspective had stopped to allow the pedestrians to cross the road. I know that will spark up debate, but those are my views. Those would be my views in court. Those, I believe, would be successful arguments in court. So if you argue against those, respectfully, I think you will lose, because the court is going to say, well, what do the rules say? And the rules say you should stop to allow the pedestrian to cross the road, which is exactly what the vehicle did. It's not as though the vehicle caused any particular kind of danger. There is always a danger and some sort of hazard when you stop or slow down, as our friend Ashley Neal will tell you, but the vehicle behind should be aware of what's going on. They should spot the brake lights coming on, assuming they're working, of course, which I think they are. The vehicle behind should be in a position to stop. It shouldn't be going too quickly that it can't stop when the vehicle in front has obviously stopped to allow the pedestrians to cross the road. So those are my views on those clips. These sort of prove my point that it is still causing problems because in those two scenarios, and thank you, Ben, for sending me those, because they very neatly separate the two issues. One is a pedestrian refusing to cross the road even though they have a priority, because the vehicle should, it's not a must, but the vehicle should give priority to the pedestrian crossing the road. And the other scenario, when the vehicle behind is simply getting frustrated because they either don't realise, or they were caught off guard, or worse still, perhaps they simply don't want the vehicle to be stopping to allow them to cross the road. But those are the rules. That is how it should be. So well done, if it was Ben or whoever it was that was driving, to you for stopping in a good distance and allowing these people to cross the road. But there it is. Those are the difficulties. I still see it day in and day out. And as I say, my experience has been very mixed. I've seen lots of different scenarios. I haven't once yet been allowed to cross the road myself by a vehicle, even if it's at the edge of a junction. Different if you're halfway down a road. In my view, you are then just waiting to cross the road. It's not a road junction. There isn't that literal interchange or exchange of road direction that the vehicle is turning into or out of a junction that they should look out for you crossing the road. I think if you're halfway down the road, that's different, but if you're already in the road, the vehicle should most definitely stop, as they have not done so for me in previous occasions. So I hope you found that interesting. Please like the video and subscribe. Leave your comments and thoughts below. Please do share your clips to clips@blackbeltbarrister.com, your requests for video at requests@blackbeltbarrister.com, and of course for formal legal advice you'll find the clerk's email address at shensmith.com in the description below. So in the meantime, thank you for subscribing, thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.